Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/ProRevenge. Some people just don't understand the good intentions of their circle. Well, it's their loss. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. You have brand name clothes? Give me your couch for free. Some backstory first. My husband and I are going to be renting my parents' second house and hopefully buying it in the future. They were renting it out and the tenants basically destroyed it. We're talking ripping out walls, building new cabinets, tearing up carpets. The toilet even got removed, it was so bad. We've been putting our money and time into fixing this house for the past 3 weeks or so. My husband works full-time, so it's mostly me and my dad doing it while my mom watches our daughter and husband helps when he isn't working. On to today. My best friend hasn't seen the house yet, so I invited her over to hang out while I paint. My husband started talking about furniture he wanted to get rid of because the new house is a lot smaller than the one we're in now, and we also want some cash to get new furniture. He brought up a couch we have that's quite fancy. It's faux leather, has lights and speakers, reclines electronically, has charging ports. You get the drift. It's an expensive couch. My friend asked how much we want for it. My husband said we got it for free from his grandfather who worked at a furniture store because someone returned it and they couldn't sell it again, so anything would be good to really put towards new stuff. I know my friend doesn't have a great deal of money. Neither do we, but we're better with our finances than her. This is important, it comes up again. And I said if it was to her, $50, because I don't like faux leather and I just wanted it gone, honestly. She agreed. I mean, who wouldn't? Then we went to get lunch at the Servo. While we were there, she asked if I could buy her a packet of smokes and she'd pay me back next week. In Australia, a packet of cigarettes is around 35 Australian dollars for the cheapest where we live. I got them for her, and while we're waiting for the food, I told her about some new clothes I was getting and was excited about because I love these brands and they make me feel fancy. Calvin Klein and Tommy Hilfiger. I bought them from an online outlet store where everything is between 50 and 80% off. She said, "This is why you never have any money and are always broke." I kind of just gave her a "really" look as I just bought her smokes. On the way back to the car, she started saying how she should get the couch for free because if I have money to get those brands, I should have enough to get new furniture. I said, "Name, I'm giving you at least a $1,000 couch for $50. If I wasn't selling it to you, then I'd ask for half the price. If you don't want to pay for it, then I'll sell it." She got all huffy and brought up how her partner had bought us drinks last weekend while we were out, allowed my state, and I said it's not the same because he did that, not her, and we didn't ask, he offered. She asked to buy the couch and I gave her the lowest price because she's my friend. I canceled my offer of $50 and will sell it to someone else. Who turns their nose up at $50 for a $1,000 couch because the owner bought brand new clothes? Entitled people is who. The sheer audacity's taking me aback right now. And our second story. Want us to sit idle the entire day? Fine. Then you pay heavily. For starters, I too work in I sector in India, and we have weird HR and middle managers. This happened 10 to 12 years ago. The city I was working in was facing severe water and electricity shortages. Consequently, the city decided that one day a week there'd be no power supply to certain areas. This would continue for over 2 years. It began as a 3-month arrangement, but the city kept extending the duration. The company was loath to invest in generators that would ensure a full-day work for over 100 users. Every Thursday, there used to be a power cut from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. I suggested that we should declare Thursday as official holiday and make Saturdays as working days, but this didn't go down well with the powers that be. I was heading a team of 30 at the time. I told my team that they could take the day off and run whatever personal errands they had, but since Thursdays were working, we'd change our shift time to begin from 6 p.m. This was a win-win situation for all, except HR. 4 to 5 weeks into the arrangement, I got called by HR that my team was not reporting on time. They insisted that everyone had to log on in the morning. I put the situation to the team and they volunteered to come to the office, log in, and leave for the day and return at 6 p.m. Works for me if they don't mind the extra drive. 3 weeks later, HR again has complaints. The team has to be physically present in the office at all times. This was taking things to ridiculous levels. Without power, we couldn't work, and it makes no sense to sit idle one day a week. We decided that this would be our fun and games day. Nope, that doesn't work either. As per HR, I'm supposed to hold seminars, presentations, and training sessions, all this while we're still working from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. HR's aware of it. We decide that we'll go full compliance and take advantage of all company facilities and rules. On Thursdays, entire teams stopped getting their personal vehicles. We decided to use company pick and drop facility. This was way before Uber. For most people, it meant hiring private taxis for home drops and billing the company. Since our timings were past midnight, the fares were 1.5 times the regular fare. Since HR insisted that we should be physically present in the office from 10 a.m., after 6 p.m., everyone became entitled to overtime. More than 3 hours overtime drew double pay. Oh, we loved that rule. Plus, if we worked past 8 p.m., company had to provide dinner. Earlier, when we voluntarily changed our shift timings, the team used to get their own meals from home. Now, we stopped that. In 1 month, the HR and finance teams figured that it'd be cheaper to buy generators. For those who are wondering, other teams changed their delivery timelines to clients, taking only 4 days a week as working. We didn't cheat either our clients or the company by working 4 days while being paid for 5. Everyone used to idle away the day and leave on regular time. Only my team was trying to be diligent. This is awesome. Constantly amazes me how so many HR departments can screw up so badly. And our last story. Older cousin demanded her inheritance after our grandmother died. She screams like a banshee when I tell her no. For context, my maternal grandmother is the one who passed away, and my sister and I always called her by the Portuguese word for grandmother, vavó or vô. My biological mother is Vo's second and youngest kid, with there being a 12-year gap between my aunt and mother. As a result, my cousins from that aunt are way older than me, as in I spent a decent part being a toddler as a flower girl at their weddings. The cousin in the story is my cousin Haley, 15 years older than me. Given the gap in age, my Vo was super involved with my sister and I, as well as her great-grandkids from my older cousins. I was very close to Vo and still say even now that she was my very first best friend in this world. As she aged, Vo's health got worse, and by the time I was in high school, she was on oxygen around the clock for her emphysema. When we were kids, she had paperwork drawn up like a will, healthcare proxies, and others, just in case something happened, but we couldn't sign as we were under 18 back then. With the exception of maybe 3 people, most of my mother's family are huge addicts who refuse to get help. Vo didn't trust anyone other than my sister, my cousin Steve, and me, and as soon as we were old enough, Vo asked us to take her to have these documents updated. Vo named my sister and I in the updated docs, and I had a professor at school review the new documents with me, so I understood them thoroughly. Steve was newly married, expecting his first child, and renovating his new home, so Vo didn't want to stress him out more. Whenever a decision needed to be made on Vo's behalf, my sister and I would include him, and as someone older than us, we looked up to him. His sister H was a full-fledged alcoholic on top of being entitled and snobby. Her husband, now ex, owns his own masonry business, and they did well for themselves, but when I was in junior high, she somehow managed to steal $10,000 out of Vo's savings and opened a credit card in Vo's name. I was pissed. My Vo was devastated that Haley did this to her. Fast forward a bit, and during my early 20s, I got news that my Vo has a bad case of pneumonia and is hospitalized. During my school winter vacation, I spend every day with her, and the doc says to me she'll be discharged the next day since she's better. I return to school at the end of break and get a call 2 days later from my sister. The long and short of it is that Vo took a bad turn after discharge, and it doesn't look like she'll survive. I race back home. What was a 2-hour drive took maybe 90 minutes. I make it in time to say goodbye. I came in, held her hand, and gave her one last kiss on the cheek. She died about 10 minutes later. As everyone was in the elevator leaving, Haley asked Steve, sister, and I why we were the only 3 people the care team would speak to privately. We shrug it off in no mood to fuss. Sis and I get to work arranging the details of the funeral/wake, Vo's church has a beautiful memorial for her, and after we get back to my sister's house, Haley starts her crap again. She'd been snooping and learned that Sis and I were named as the proxy POA, with me as the primary. I confirmed that to Haley, and she also read something about the will and that I was the executor. She starts her damned and entitled Karen act when I confirm the will is correct. Haley: why you of all people? You're just a kid. Me: I'm 22, not 5. She picked me because she doesn't trust most of the family. Whatever. Just give me what Vo left me and I'll go. And I'll take whatever she left for my kids too. Haley has 2 kids named Courtney and Cody. My sister Courtney and I were left a necklace and ring, each in a little money. Cody got roughly $9 to $10K as he didn't get much in the way of items passed down. Vo didn't think he was into women's jewelry. However, she also gave me her old engagement ring to hold until one of you kids gets engaged and wants it. Me: what are you on about? Haley: give me my money and my kids' crap. Me: I can't. Haley: why? Me: well, if you read the whole will, you'd know that you didn't get anything. Haley: why? Me: because Vo said you already got yours when you stole her identity and retirement savings. H: whatever. Give me the crap for my kids then. Me: I can't. Vo had me promise not to give anything to anyone other than the people listed. I can't give you my sister's inheritance for you to give to her. It goes direct to her. Guys, Haley's near 40 and throws a tantrum in the driveway and calls the effing cops on me. Tried saying I stole everything and assaulted her. It backfired on her. Cops ran all our info, and Haley had bench warrants in 3 states. I just can't. She also wanted me to pay her bail. I told her to pound sand. Thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.